Hello, everybody. Scott Garcia, National Marketing Director, Integrated Trust Systems. Hope you're all well. Thanks for your time today. Got a very exciting meeting today with you guys because this is titled Six Reasons to Do an Estate Plan, or Six Reasons Why Somebody Should Consider an Estate Plan. And this is exciting because we have agents throughout the whole country who aren't doing seminars, although seminars are a great way, probably the best way to do this and get off to a quick start. We have a lot of agents who don't want to do seminars. They don't have the money, A. They don't have I guess, the skill set. They don't think just speak in front of people, it scares them, but they have a lot of clients. Or they've got a lot of clients and they're doing seminars, but they want to also attract other people. So you can very easily, as we go through this today, realize that everybody needs to have this message brought up to them. I mean, I don't care if you're the most sought after thoracic surgeon in New York, or the guys sweeping streets in Potosi, Missouri. Everybody needs to know this information, okay, because it's not readily available. We find throughout the whole country, and I've been doing this for 9 years, most people don't have any clue about estate planning. They're confused. Nobody's ever brought it up. Even financial planners. I mean, I traveled all year last year, 32 weekends. Most of the offices I went into, those are agencies, and those are sharp people, didn't know anything about estate planning either. And they're in the financial services industry. So I want you guys to realize what you have in your grasp with this is you can really make a tremendous difference with people in their lives because they need to be set up properly. They don't know most people don't know any of this information. Why are we attracting so many people on the mailings? Because people don't know. Why do we set what's such high percentage of appointments? People don't know. Why do they refer you to a lot of people? Because their friends don't know. So again, we've got a great opportunity. Today I'm going to go through and kind of explain to you some of the ideas I've used to help people realize, or to at least show you why you want to be talking to these people. And these will be things that that you can use to heighten their interest. So I'm going to share my screen. On screen share. I'm going to hit a Word document. Here it is right here. Okay, so these are just ideas I had. Six reasons to do an estate plan, or six reasons why somebody should consider an estate plan, or six things you need to bring up to every client, every person you see, to educate them, because if they don't have certain documents, they're going to have a tremendous burden possibly put on their family. Don Runge, the lead guru, has taught me a ton of stuff. His One of his best lines is it your intention to cause a financial or emotional burden to your family when something happens? Everybody, everybody I've ever talked to says no. Well, if people don't have their proper documents, they're going to in fact do that without even knowing it. And then the kids find out at the end when they said, well, I didn't even know about this either. So again, education is the key, guys. We want to educate people. So here's one of the reasons. You want somebody to make your healthcare decisions if you become incapacitated. This is a big one, everybody. Now, I know there's some states that if you're over 18, nobody can make a decision. If you're over 18, some states say, well, it's a spouse, and after that, it's the kids, and if they can't do it, it's this, the brother, whatever. That's fine. But remember, even though some states have this, you know, authority line going on, they have a way to do this. If I'm married to my wife and my brother is a doctor, I might want my brother to make the decision. Well, if I don't do anything and the default in my state said it's my wife, well, if I have a heart attack, my wife's making the decision when I actually wanted my brother to make the decision. See, people all need to name somebody. This is a life, could be a life-threatening thing. If my life's on the line, I know who I want to make the decision. I don't want to go by some state's default system that, just like probate, it's a government idea what they think you want, or their rule. So again, everybody should name somebody. Okay. Let's say I'm married and my wife and I are in a car accident. I've got two children. Well, if I don't name anybody, it just says kids, then my son and daughter might fight. My son might dominate my daughter. That might cause a problem between them because I didn't write anything down. So there's many reasons why everybody should write somebody down. Now, here's the other problem. For the minority of people who have a healthcare power of attorney, most of the time it's on paper. Here's their problem. It's on paper. It's not going to work in an emergency probably. They don't carry it with them all the time. See, with our card system, it's accessible anytime as long as it's in the guy's wallet, in the lady's purse, and they filled out the document. It's a tremendous benefit to people. So our card system works. If they got paper healthcare power of attorney and they're on vacation, here's the problems. Number one, If I have a healthcare power of attorney on paper, me and my wife, it's notarized, it's awesome, and we go to Florida, we're in a car accident. How does a paramedic in the hospital in Florida even know I have it? They don't. I tried to do the right thing. I got the thing done. I paid for it at an attorney's office. I tried to do the right thing, but I left it at home. Or I took it to Florida with me, but I left it in the room when I went to the dinner and I was in a car accident. See, paper doesn't work in emergencies in a lot of cases. So that's problem number one. They never know. How are they going to call my son or daughter? They don't know who my son and daughter is. See, our platform stops those things. It solves that problem. But let's say the hospital finds out in Florida my son might be the healthcare power of attorney. Now my son's got to go find the healthcare power of attorney. What drawer is it in at my house? What if he can't get in my house? What if it's a safe deposit box at the bank? He can't get there till Monday. They call them Saturday. There's a whole bunch of reasons. A, why people need this, and most people don't have it. And number two, even if they have a paper one, how you can help them because they have potential problems. I probably just got your attention just now. So again, people need to know this. You have the ability now to educate people. Second reason, using beneficiary designations on your retirement account. We talk about this all the time, guys. This is a big one. I mean, if you want to start driving a wedge between your competition in your area, my experience, and I've been in the business 38 years, about 98% of the time in my personal business when I didn't know this stuff, or as people come in this office. Now we have people come in my office, they come in from estate planning seminars. So they're doctors, lawyers, engineers, school teachers, executives, smart people. Their advisor told them, hey, Joe, 98% of the time in my experience, hey, Joe, name your wife, Beth, the primary beneficiary, and your 3 kids contingent. Correct me if I'm wrong. That happens all the time. In my practice, about 98% of the time. Now, I know that's a problem. I didn't know that was a problem 10 years ago. That's what I did 10 years ago. I was uneducated. For 30 years, that's what I told people. I was uneducated. So now, what are the problems with that is? Well, if I name my wife and my 2 kids, my wife primary, my 2 kids contingent, what if we all 4 die going to dinner Saturday night? Well, there's no beneficiary. If they can't tell who died first, it's going to go through probate. There's one problem. Number 2 problem is this. What if I die with my wife and my daughter? Well, my son gets all the money, and my daughter, who had 2 kids, I disinherited my 2 grandkids because my son gets all the money. There's 2 problems. Third problem is if I die with my wife, all of my qualified money is going to my kids. It's income to my kids. They're probably going to take a lump sum. So guess what? They're going to get walloped in taxes. There's 3 problems. Kids are going to pay the most possible taxes. Number 4, 78% of all inheritances are gone in 18 months or less. So now my kids are going to blow my money. The $1 million I saved in retirement, I spent 38 years saving it, probably is going to be gone in about a year and a half because my kids took a lump sum. They got walloped in taxes, and then they spent the $700,000 because they didn't earn it. There's 4 problems right there. Fifth problem is, what if my son's going through a divorce when I die? See, the beneficiary designation can't be stopped. He might only get a half of the money. There's 5 problems. Sixth problem is, what if my daughter's going through a lawsuit? She might not get any of the money. She's going through a lawsuit. Beneficiary designation can't be stopped. What if my son's in bankruptcy when I die? Well, beneficiary designation can't be stopped. The bankruptcy is not over by the time the money has to be paid out by the company. He might not get anything. There's 7 problems. What if my daughter's marriage isn't that good, and she takes out $500,000, her portion, pays the taxes, ends up with $300,000, puts it in a joint bank account? That's the perfect time for my son-in-law to tell my daughter he wants a divorce because it's in a joint bank account. There's 8 problems. What if I die and the money goes to my daughter? She takes the money. She names her husband the beneficiary. She dies of cancer, heaven forbid. Guess who got my money? My son-in-law, who I didn't like anyway. There's 9 problems. Okay. What if that happens and my son-in-law gets the money? He names his new wife the beneficiary. He dies. A stranger got my IRA. There's 10 problems, guys. 10 problems. Most of the clients you see or you have as clients are name and beneficiaries. Go fix it. These are problems. Now, you're not going to know all 10. If you know 1 or 2, you'll get their attention. But go back to your clients, help them, get an estate plan. Okay, the way it's solved is they get an estate plan. They then, on the IRA, name their spouse the primary beneficiary, their trust contingent. Once they get the estate plan, then our team will help them have a distribution plan in the trust that'll protect them against those things. Once that's done, ask for a bunch of referrals because your client's brother, sister, cousin, neighbor, and kids are doing the same mistake. Go see them and then do some seminars because all the people coming for seminars, they're doing the same thing. This is a huge opportunity for you guys. Okay. Let me go to number 3. Would you like someone's spouse, child, friend to have access to your retirement account if you become incapacitated? This is a big deal, guys. Most people assume we've been married 37 years. Boy, if my husband has a heart attack, I'll just call his company and get money out for his care. Well, without the proper documents, if he doesn't die, you will not. Zero. You're getting no information legally. If the wife has a stroke, a car accident, the husband thinks they're going to call the investment company with 2 names down the street. The guy took you to lunch 4 times last year. He's certainly going to give you the information. Well, if he does, he's breaking the law. He could lose his license. But let's say he did that. Even when you send the paperwork to the company's going to want a financial power of attorney. Without that document, you're getting nowhere. What if you have clients, our client comes in the office, they're married. What if both of them are incapacitated? They have no financial power of attorney. None of their kids can get to their money. We got problems, guys. People don't know this. There's 3 huge benefits why you should be talking to everybody you talk to now. Your clients, your neighbor. Gosh, what if you just put 20 letters? What if you did 20 letters a week just to the general public, got a database of people 65 to 70, and just send out 20 letters a week saying, here's an estate planning survey. Did you know? Did you know? Have a reply card and have them send them back to reply card if they're interested, or you get their phone number and call a 20 to follow up. I mean, people don't know this stuff, guys. There's a bunch of ways you can market this, but go see your clients, talk to the people you know. 4th reason to consider an estate plan: you own property, want to pass to somebody else. Remember this, guys and girls, and ladies and gentlemen. Most people assume, well, me and my wife worked for 42 years. We're retired. We took this 30 years to pay off the house. We own the house, her and I, but they've done nothing, just in their names. They assume when they both die, the kids will get the house. When Joe dies, Betty assumes, well, when I die, I go to the kids. Well, no, it won't, unless there's some type of legal mechanism, a beneficiary deed. Most people don't have a beneficiary deed. It's just in their name. So with no beneficiary deed, when both owners die, it's got to go through probate. Dead people can't own property. If I own a house with my wife, which I do, and we both die, when my kids go to the county and say, my mom and dad owned a house, they love the house. They promised us last 22 Christmases we get the house. How did we get the house? Well, the county's going to look it up and say, well, it's in Scott and Lori's name. It's in their personal name. Do you guys have any proof they died? We need proof they died. Well, hey, here's a death certificate. Okay, so Scott and Lori are dead. They have a piece of property, but they're dead. Dead people can't own property. Do you kids have any legal mechanism that says you get the house? No. We have to open a probate file. Now we have government intervention with the distribution. Now I know where I want the house to go. So does Lori, but we never did anything about it because nobody brought it up. How many people can you help in that area? About 90% of the people, in my opinion, that come in this office don't have never heard of a beneficiary deed, have nothing at all. But again, even if they have a beneficiary deed, what's the problem? It's just like a beneficiary designation. If I name my 2 kids in a beneficiary deed, beneficiary designees in my house, and me and Laurie die, if my son's going through a divorce, it's a problem. If my daughter's going through a bankruptcy or a lawsuit, it's a problem. Beneficiary designations can't be stopped. So if they have a beneficiary deed, that's good. It's not as good as having a fully funded estate plan, though, where you can plan on all these contingencies. I hope you guys are getting it. There's 5 reasons everybody should consider an estate plan. Now you have the opportunity to educate them, because I guarantee you this, in most cases, nobody's ever brought this stuff up to them. Last one, well, I'm sorry, number 5, you want to avoid conservatorship. Now, again, you need to know the state laws in your state, but this happened in Missouri. Our attorney, we went through this together. We had 2 clients come to one of our seminars, 86 years old, 82 years old. They were married 62 years. They come to a seminar. They made an appointment, came into the appointment. We told them all about our platform, gave them the price. We want to think about it. Okay, you're going to think about it. Now, you know me, I asked them about 5, 6 times to move forward. They didn't want to do that. They wanted to think, okay, go ahead. Come on back. So 6 months later, the lady calls on a Thursday night. I'll never forget it. Said, Scott, I need to see the attorney. I said, who is this, please? She told me her name. I said, I don't remember who. She goes, remember, we've been married 62 years. Oh, yeah, I remember. Oh, that's great. Yeah, okay. Well, when do you want to see the attorney? She goes, as soon as possible. How about tomorrow? I said, well, tomorrow's Friday. Our attorney doesn't work on Friday. What about Saturday? I said, well, I can try. So I called the attorney, and the attorney was nice enough to come into the office. The lady came into the office because her husband told her Tuesday afternoon, honey, I'm going to go down to Walmart. I'll be there about an hour. I'll be back in about an hour. Well, 3 hours later, there was no husband. So the security guard at Walmart called the lady and said, "Is your husband such and such a person?" The lady said, "Yes." "Why?" "Well, can you come get him? He doesn't know where he is." See, he had lost capacity, which could happen to anybody at any time. The gentleman never did a healthcare power of attorney. So now the lady came into the office. She wanted Jennifer, the attorney, to write her healthcare power of attorney. Well, the gentleman is now incapacitated. Jennifer had to say, "I'm sorry, I can't do that. Your husband is over 18. We can't do that." So the lady goes, "Well, what do we got to do now?" "Well, we got to go to court." So the lady goes to court. The judge says, "Based on your age, ma'am, the medications you're on, the answers you gave me, I can't name you healthcare power of attorney for your husband. If you mess it up, your family could sue me. I'm going to appoint a guardian ad litem." Lady goes, "What's a guardian ad litem?" "That's a court appointed person that's going to make your healthcare decisions for your husband." A guardian ad litem cost, from what I heard, about $8,000 to set it up. A guardian ad litem, for the benefit of this lady having a stranger make her healthcare decision for her husband, cost $8,000 from what I've heard. That's our whole estate plan is a fraction of that cost, as you know, and she could have had 100% control, but they procrastinated. So don't let that happen. Everybody needs to know about that because they assume they'll just make the decision for their spouse, and they may or may not. Depends. You're using a POD, TOD, or beneficiaries. Remember this, guys. A POD, a pay on death designation on a bank account, or a checking account, or a savings account, or money market, is a beneficiary designation. It has the same problems as a beneficiary designation, an IRA, not the tax problems, but has the same problems of it can't be stopped. TOD, transfer and death, on a car or a non-qualified brokerage account or an RV. Again, it can't be stopped. It's got the same risk as a POD. Beneficiary deed, same risk as a beneficiary designation. If I name my son and daughter POD on my checking account and I die, it's going to avoid probate. But what if my kids would die with me going to the amusement park? Well, there's no POD anymore. It's going to go through probate. I can't tell who died first. What if I die though, and my son gets half the money, so does my daughter? What if he's going through a lawsuit and my daughter's going through divorce? It's problematic. It can't be stopped. Same way with a TOD. If I TOD my Corvette to my daughter, that's fine. It's going to avoid probate as long as she outlives me. But what if she's going through a lawsuit when I die? Same thing with a beneficiary deed on a piece of property, my house, my lake house, my rental property. That's fine. But what if my son and daughter go through a divorce, a lawsuit, or a bankrupt? It's a problem. So people need to know these things. Again, now you have the education, at least start a conversation to get them interested in learning why they should do an estate plan. Now, once they're interested, what you do then is just go to the intake interview. You say, "Now, do you have any questions for me, Joe and Martha?" "No." "Okay. What I want to do is go through our process. Here's our agenda." Put the agenda on the table, put your finger on it, and then you say, now usually it says, "I just did a questionnaire." I didn't do a questionnaire. What I did was I gave you some information, but let me ask you a question. Do you guys do own your house? Go through a brief questionnaire. Do you guys have a beneficiary deed? No. Okay. Have you guys named anybody make your healthcare decisions? No. Okay. Do you guys have a financial power of attorney? Joe, have you named Martha to have access to your 401k in case you become incapacitated? Not if you die. We know she's a beneficiary. There's other problems with that. But if you just have a stroke, no. Okay, that's a problem. So go through the agenda. You go through. You show them you have a team. You show them the 64% article. Show them why jurisdictional shopping is in use. Show them the Nevada uh, rankings of the trust. You go through the same process. Show them the comparison form. Two ways to do this, Joe and Martha. On the left-hand side is a digital way with using Nevada law. Let's go through this compared to a book trust where you would get a book trust anywhere. Joe and Martha, you can go find 10,000 attorneys that'll do a book trust on the right-hand side. Let's see how much you would like that compared to our process. I know this is remedial, but it's so simple. I want to break it down for you. Go through every single category. Take your time. Make sure he gets a questionnaire or a comparison form. She gets a comparison form. You have a comparison form. You all got pens. You're going through it with him. You're writing it down. At the end, it's going to be 19-0 in your favor, 18-1 or 17-2. At that point in time, you say, "Joe and Martha, it's obvious you guys are a great candidate for a digital trust with ITS. We'd love to help you. Been around for 40 years, long time. What's better for you, a credit card or a debit card?" And you're off to the races. So again, I hope this helps. You don't have to do seminars to be successful. We have many agents in the country using this system just with their current clients, or having client events, or doing things like sending 20 letters out a week. again, guys, once you start people on this path, they're going to refer you to their friends because their friends aren't getting this information. So with that being said, hopefully this was helpful. If you need anything, call me 314-580-0524. Scott Garcia, National Marketing Director, Integrated Trust Systems. Go out there and help somebody today. They need this information. You've got a tremendous opportunity to help these people. So have fun doing it. If you need me, give me a call. Thanks so much.